Thank you, Mark, and a big hello from London. Some interesting technical patterns this past week, some very counterintuitive ones as well. We had a weekly key reversal down in spot gold last week. This is one of those counterintuitive situations I mentioned. The reason I say that, well, you'd expect in the more inflationary environment, as we have seen all over the world, that spot gold would benefit. However, not so here. I also looked elsewhere in the precious complex, and there were no weekly key reversals down or even outside weeks in spot silver, platinum or palladium. We also had weekly key reversals down in NYMEX WTI Crude Oil Futures and ICE Brent Crude Oil Futures. In NYMEX Crude Oil Futures, a lot of the heavy work in getting it lower was done on Tuesday last week, and then especially last Friday. Both these days were daily key reversals down, but the one on Friday last week was especially important as only the slowly rising short medium moving average, currently at 108.80, managed to hold it up. This week we've had a follow-on lower today, and prices are they've currently challenged and pushed through the slowly rising medium moving average, currently 105.02. In the products, well, NYMEX heating oil futures had a lesser but still bearish outside week and have had a limited move lower since. Meanwhile, RBOB futures, well, they were already on the move lower from a week prior. In ICE Brent Crude Oil Futures, we also had a weekly key reversal down. Once again, it was the Tuesday and Friday of last week that did the heavy lifting. This time, the daily key reversal down on Friday did a hell of a lot of work, pushing down clear through a congestion area between 115.70 and 120 even. And again, all the way down to the slowly rising short medium moving average support, currently at 112.17. Today, the market broke down through that and down to the next levels of support, what looks right now like a bearish opening long black Mariboso. The support below is now not only the medium moving average, currently 108.76, which is passed through, but also the heavy congestion, some of it from 2014 between 106.79 to 108.62, which is testing at the moment. Interestingly, rising into it from below and being tested, we have the November 2021 today uptrend, currently at 106.92. It'll be interesting to see what happens when the market meets this on the surface none too strong uptrend. Once again, all this seems counterintuitive given that we are moving into if not living in an inflationary environment. I can only echo what my colleague Mark said on this when we discussed the matter. These inflationary pressures are a supply issue, not a demand issue. We also had a weekly key reversal down last week in EEX Butter Futures, with absolutely no reaction since. These were the weekly key reversals down from last week. On the other hand, these following were the weekly key reversals up from last week. We had a weekly key reversal up in the Chinese CHINEXT Stock Index, though not in the Shanghai Composite Index or the CSI 300 Stock Index. We also had a weekly key reversal up last week in Chicago Soybean Meal Futures, though not in Chicago soybeans futures themselves or soybean oil futures. There has been no follow-through higher to this move this week. I will deal with this in greater depth in my weekly oilseeds and veg oil commentary tomorrow, but a quick glance there suggests that it seems right now that last week was another reactionary move back up, the third in the last 6 weeks, moving up and away from the combination of the neckline, currently 398 even, of the big December to date head and shoulders pattern, and the slowly rising long moving average, currently 399.40. We also had a weekly key reversal up last week in the Baltic Exchange's Panamax Index, though not in any of the other freight indexes that I follow. I'm always happy to answer any direct questions from anyone who's interested, and with that I'll finish this section from London, and I hope you found these comments useful.